Welcome back, everyone! After our first MozFest Studio broadcast yesterday, you might be wondering where exactly our studio is based. Well, would you believe me if I told you that we're actually located in the middle of nature at the western edge of Amsterdam? Probably you would, but what if I told you that back in the olden days, this place used to be an ammunition depot? Luckily for us, nowadays it is a diverse cultural business park where sustainability, arts, craft, culture and entrepreneurship merge into a creative hotspot. The perfect place for MozFest 2021, right?
Yes, thanks for tuning in to the second episode of MozFest Studio. Day 2 of MozFest is on its way and already many sessions have taken place in all of the spaces. Over 5,000 participants are joining the festival at this moment and we love to see all the enthusiasm and participation from everyone around the world. So we could not have kicked off the first day any better. And because you guys are not in Amsterdam with us in real life, sadly, but we do want you guys to get to know our country a little bit, I have a nice Dutch word for you today to chew on. It is the Dutch translation of for AI, kunstmatige intelligentie. So say it with me, everybody. Kunstmatige intelligentie. Okay, let's see if our guests for today are able to get this out of their throats. Go! Here are some important updates for you to know. Make sure to join common spaces in spatial chat. This is the place where you can hang out, join conversations dedicated to spaces, as well as join social gatherings, parties, you name it. So how do you check it out? Well, you go to the MozFest Plaza and click on Social on the left side of the page. Then you scroll down to Common Spaces and click on Let's Hang Out. Then you just create your avatar and the party can begin. So make sure you do that. Moving on to something very exciting. We've got a little present for you. Yeah! If you want to celebrate in style by adding some MozFest flair to your Zoom background, we've created a few cool looking backgrounds which you can download and customize the way you like it. So for me it would look something like this. Nice, huh? So yeah, if you'd like that, it's available through mozilla.la/backgrounds. Go! So I'm sure you would like to know what happened since we saw you last. So let me highlight one of the many sessions that happened in the last few hours. The Mozilla session, Add Transparency and Access for Researchers. What are platforms hiding? Brought together those interested in discussing how online advertisements can be made more transparent. And now in the Zoom call, we have facilitator Pip McDonald and facilitator Fernanda Perez Gai Juarez from Canada. Hello guys, thanks for joining us today. Lovely to see you're using the backgrounds, looking very, very sharp today. Can you say for me one time, kunstmatige intelligentie?
Kunstmatige intelligentie.
Nice, very nice. And you?
Kunstmatige intelligentie.
Wow, applause. Very nicely done. Hey Pip, you guided your participants through the creation and recording of a new story using prompts and frames in the AI wellness space. Were you pleased with the story endings that came out of your session?
Definitely. It's always really exciting to lead a collaborative digital storytelling session. It was really interesting to see what ideas people had. At one point, we came up with the idea of an AI president. So it was really useful to explore those ideas. We used things like story cubes and visual metaphors and multimodal prompts. And we also used a really interesting AI tool called For AI.
Nice, yeah, because I've read that the main character in the story is an AI character. So could you tell us a little bit,
definitely.
like, what is its name, what happens with it, or should we, for that, have to join the session?
Oh, no, definitely. You can contribute outside in an asynchronous capacity. So the main character was called Pindra, and I actually borrowed the main character idea from Brave New World. And Pindra was an AI system that led a dystopian society. So we kind of talked about her world and what she did for work, and how what a home was like and what work was like in the year 3000. So it was really exciting to kind of ideate and iterate together to kind of build this world of an AI character and what kind of rights she had. It was really exciting.
Yeah, it sounds like it's a good basis for interesting stories. Fernanda, you talked with your participants about creativity in the brain in the neurodiversity space. Neuroscience sounds a bit like a complicated topic. Were the participants able to demystify brain science in the session today? Because that was one of the goals.
Yeah, well, I hope they did. We would have to ask participants. I think there was a lot of engagement. The discussion became very interesting. I was very glad to see like very diverse faces. I even had like 3 girls that I think they were around 10 years old.
Wow.
And were joining us from Nepal. So I was kind of nervous because I do science communication, but sometimes I would use terms, you know, like cognitive neuroscience, and like, what does a 10-year-old know
to
about
a 10-year-old?
But I mean, we try to go back to the basics, you know, explain what is neuroscience, what is it that neuroscientists do, and like everything, like what's a neuron, it's a cell and it has wires, and biological wires connects to other neurons. So I think that at least they learned something, and they were excited about it because they were asking a lot of questions and engaging a lot in the discussion. So I can say that.
Well, it sounds like it was great. And Pip, do you think AI could learn to be as creative as the human brain can be?
Oh, that's a very difficult question. Well, if Picasso programmed a robot, perhaps we'd get a very creative result.
Yeah, but so it's possible, right? But it's not something that AI is doing right now, or is it already in the trenches?
I think we are doing, it depends how we define creativity, isn't it? If creativity is something original, can AI simply just repeat something that's already been created or create something new? It depends how we sort of define creativity and how we understand it culturally.
Fernanda, what do you think about that? Is it something that you think the robots can beat us on, or are the humans the most creative?
Well, that's definitely a very polemic question. As Pip said, sometimes some of the characteristics that we attribute to algorithms come, like algorithms in AI, actually come from the people that program them, right? So far, we have some examples that have approached this kind of like creativity algorithm, like kind of like the Deep Dream Google algorithm, where you like input the picture, and using convolutional neural networks, it goes through it and kind of projects some images on top, and it kind of looks like kind of hallucinogenic art, you know, like psychedelic art.
Nice. So it's happening already.
Yeah, I think that's been done by Google since a couple years, but there's a whole philosophical discussion of if that's really creative, or it's just, you know, repeating patterns that can be like aesthetically pleasing or aesthetically interesting. So as Pip said, it depends a lot on how we define creativity.
Nice. Well, I think it's very interesting. I could talk with you for hours about this, but that's our time we have now. But thank you for filling us in on your sessions, and thank you for coming on the show.
Go.
Time to get social, because we've had a lot of tweets coming in. For example, this one from Rin Olivier. They had a wonderful time at MozFest in the neurodiversity session. And they say they love Mozilla, which is very sweet. I'm sure Mozilla loves you too. And Craig is looking forward to 12 days of MozFest. Very ambitious of you. Happy to hear that you're going in hardcore. Yeah, keep us updated on how that goes. And we have this lovely post from Sarah, our very own sketch artist, and she creates visual notes for different sessions on MozFest. And this is the first one she created, so amazing job, Sarah, thank you. And besides Twitter, we also have some nice comments on Slack. Kathy, for instance, she's handing out 7 pluses for the AI and Power opening. A very positive review, Kathy. Thank you for the positivity. And Arthur is joining for the 3rd time here at Mozilla. And he's located right here with us in the Netherlands, so that's nice to hear. Maybe see you around, Arthur. And we also love to see your enthusiasm shine through in pictures. So please show us from where you're participating. Something like this, so you can upload a photo on Twitter or Slack and show us your working space. So it could also look something like this. But we just love to see how your space is looking. So let us know. Go! Yeah, so many sessions to attend, so little time. Which one do you choose? Well, to help you make that decision, we're talking to Julia Janssen, who has sessions planned starting from 7:15 until midnight. So if you like what you hear now, be sure to hop on for one of our sessions later tonight. Hello, Julia. Nice of you to take some time out of your busy schedule this week. Yeah, could you please briefly explain to us what your session is about?
Yes, of course. So I'm hosting a session called 0.0146 seconds, and it is a collective read out loud performance of 835 privacy policies that you accept with just one click when you visit the website of the dailymail.co.uk. And
wow.
It will take hundreds of hours to read, let alone understand all these conditions. So I thought, let's do it together.
I love that idea.
As a physical performance. Thank you. Yeah, it was fun to start as physical, traveling around with this pop-up radio studio. But then the pandemic came around and we had to postpone all events. So here we are for the first time doing a virtual version. So
wow.
I was invited to read a page and to join this.
Yeah, and I'm going to be honest with you, I always click yes right away without thinking when it comes to accepting privacy policies. But how dangerous is this behavior?
Well, I think we all do. I mean, it's not really a fair choice that is given to us. I mean, it's either click accept or not using a platform. And I think in many cases, it's not really a choice even. So it's very binary. And I think also what is also very bright green, which the other options is always blending in with the page. So your brain is instantly thinking like, hey, that's the one I should press. So we all do it and we don't take time to read privacy policies. It will be insane to do so. So yeah, I think that we really have to reconsider this concept of giving consent.
Yeah, well, yeah, I'm glad to hear that we all do it. That's not just me, so you also do it. But when MozFest is over, where can people listen to this auditory work of art?
So yeah, we're first doing all the different sessions. So I think it will take about 350 hours to record everything. So I hope to do a lot of hours here. But then after we have finished all recordings, we will exhibit it as an artwork. The location is still to be determined, but you can see that on my Instagram or on my website. You can check where it's where it will be exhibited.
All right, cool. So people just have to follow you and they'll get all the information. Nice. Okay, well, thank you so much, Julia. And yeah, I'm going to think twice before accepting another privacy policy again in my life. And for once again, if you're interested in knowing more, you can join now in Julia's live stream, and it's streaming until midnight. So do that. Ciao. You get a leaving applause. And we're almost done here, but we still have some cool info for you guys. On the MozFest Plaza, you can find skill shares in which facilitators from around the world are sharing their knowledge with, on topics ranging from art to cybersecurity through 15-minute videos. So let's watch a short clip on the video How to Solve a Murder by using your digital skills.
In many crimes, there can be a trail of digital evidence that leads directly to the criminal.
In this interactive lesson, you're going to step into the shoes of a digital forensics specialist and use your digital skills to solve a crime. An eyewitness gave a statement that he saw another man leaving the office. The description of the man matches that of known fugitive Chris Mallum, who police are keen to speak to about a series of murders.
Your challenge is to use your digital skills to solve the crime and help the police catch the murderer.
First, you'll identify, log and validate the digital evidence recovered at the crime scene. And then, you'll investigate the digital evidence to look for clues. Finally, you'll recover the key evidence to lead police to the suspect.
This is based on actual techniques and procedures that are used in real cases. Now it's time to start the investigation.
Follow the instructions and let's see if you can crack the case.
So now you can finally put all that Netflix true crime knowledge to the test and use digital technology to see if you are able to solve an actual murder. And don't forget to check out the Arts and Media tab, in which you find a range of art exhibits, films, videos and podcasts. And lastly, to introduce the Mozilla fun to your entire family, make sure to check out the family resources, because here you can pick and choose from content that your children will love, like this short clip from Leo's hand puppet. Fun, fun, fun! So children, or whoever feels like a child at heart, can also create their very own hand puppet using the artist's craft page resources. And of course, do not hesitate to contact us through Twitter or on Slack using the hashtag MozFest. So let us know how you enjoyed your session or what you thought of today's show maybe. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out with the hashtag MozHelp. That's all for today, but we're going to see you tomorrow. Bye guys!